In an unprecedented series of events, the dual 10-inch Chevron oil pipelines transporting crude oil into the Salt Lake Valley for refinement has burst in Immigration Canyon. Emergency and first responders have identified the rupture location and have emailed that location back to you. Your first job is to collect the necessary data to complete the analysis. In this case, we need to identify our oil and gas pipelines coming into the valley. We need to identify the NHD high-resolution streams, and we need to look at the parcel data to identify what parcels may have been impacted. Start Arcmap. We have previously connected to the SGID database out of Salt Lake City, so we have immediate access to the vector data necessary for this analysis. We'll navigate to our database. Now that we've connected to the SGID database, we want to go ahead and download 3 different data sets: our oil gas pipelines, streams, and HD high-resolution data, and the parcel data for the Salt Lake County. Now that our data is in our Arcmap and available for analysis, we need to go ahead and identify the spatial location of our pipeline rupture. You can find this information in the document that you downloaded for this analysis. In this case, this is the information that the first responders sent back to us. This is a UTM coordinate, North American datum of 1983, in Zone 12 North. We need to take that information and translate it into a spatial location. Using Microsoft Excel, we can create a new Excel worksheet that we can then turn into a spatial data set. Now that we have our information input into our Excel sheet, we need to go ahead and save that information. We can add that data right back into our Arcmap. As you can see, Arcmap reads XLSX documents. I'm going to open the sheet that has that information. And if we open this, we can look at it as if it were an attribute table. Here's our X, Y, and some pipeline details. We can right-click on that, display XY data, make sure that it has the proper projection coordinate system, and click OK. This object ID field error is no consequence at this time. As you can see, our pipeline rupture occurred somewhere in Immigration Canyon. We'll go ahead and turn that event layer into an actual shapefile by exporting the data to our analysis folder. I'll add that back in and remove the event theme. You can see where our pipeline is broken. I'm going to go ahead and turn off some of this data so that we can get a better idea of what's going on. Check out our stream data here. You can see that we have this reach of Immigration Creek that has been affected probably by the 30,000 barrels of crude oil that have leaked over the last 12 hours. Our goal is to select out this reach of the stream, ignoring this spur used for irrigation, which has been closed. Start by selecting this information. From the point of the rupture, the above ground termination point of Immigration Creek. I'm going to export that data, and I'm going to save it out as my impacted stream reach. I'm going to add that data back in, and I'm going to remove the NHD data so that we don't have it cluttering the rest of our analysis. At this point, we need to buffer our stream area. Officials have indicated that the 250 meter buffer around the stream is where most impact is likely to take place. In our geoprocessing tools, we can use the buffer utility to complete this analysis. We choose our input on the ruptured pipeline, stream reach, give it a name, it's a 250 meter linear buffer, and I'm going to dissolve all of the different polygons that would come out of this buffer analysis so that we only have one buffer. Go ahead and run that, and you can see that we now have our 250 meter buffer around our impacted stream. I'm going to add some base data. We'll add in the Bing maps. Change our symbology. Display our parcels. We'll go ahead and change the symbology of our buffer also. Make those parcels slightly easier to see. We'll zoom in here and take a quick look.